If your hands feel cold by evening, if you need more time to wake up in the morning, or if your energy crashes by 2 p.m., your blood isn't moving the way it should. And most men ignore this until it's too late. But there's one kitchen spice that can reverse this, if you prepare it correctly. I'm Dr. Mei Anderson, and I've spent 28 years helping men over 60 reclaim what they thought was gone forever. Not with pills. Not with injections. With strategies your body already knows how to use. You're not broken. Your circulation just needs the right signal. Here's what most men get wrong. They drink clove tea in the morning, or they chew raw cloves thinking more is better. But timing destroys the effect. Cloves work best 90 minutes before bed, when your body enters repair mode, and your testosterone naturally rebuilds. Miss that window, and you're wasting 80% of its power. The eugenol compound inside cloves, the molecule that relaxes your blood vessels and restores flow, only works when your body is in deep repair, not when you're scrambling through your morning routine. I've watched men try every version of this wrong. They'll boil cloves for 2 minutes, drink it hot at noon, then wonder why nothing changes. Or they'll use clove oil because it's convenient, only to end up with stomach pain and no results. The method matters more than the ingredient itself. You can have the most powerful natural compound on earth, but if you use it at the wrong time or prepare it incorrectly, you might as well be drinking tap water. But before I show you the exact method, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your body right now. Because once you see it, the solution makes perfect sense. And more importantly, you'll understand why this works when everything else has failed. 3 months ago, a 67-year-old former contractor named James sat in my office and said, "Doc, I feel like a ghost in my own body." He tried everything. Vitamins, exercise, even medication. Nothing worked. His doctor told him it was just age. His friends told him to accept it. His wife stopped asking questions because she didn't want to make him feel worse. 2 weeks after I taught him this clove ritual, he called me laughing. My wife asked what I've been doing differently. That's when I knew this wasn't just theory. That's when I realized the men who suffer in silence have no idea how close they are to feeling alive again. James didn't need a miracle. He needed the right information at the right time, delivered in a way his body could actually use. James's story isn't unique. But to understand why this worked for him, we need to look at what changes after 60. Because the problem isn't age. It's what's happening to your blood vessels, your hormones, and your ability to deliver oxygen to the organs that define your vitality. After 60, your arteries lose flexibility. Imagine a garden hose left in the sun for years. It gets stiff, cracks form, water barely trickles through. That's your blood vessels. But here's what doctors don't tell you. This doesn't just affect your heart. It affects everything that makes you feel like a man. Colder extremities by evening. Needing 10 seconds or more to stand at attention. Energy crashing after lunch. Brain fog during conversations. Waking up still tired. These aren't separate problems. They're all screaming the same thing. Your blood isn't delivering oxygen where it's needed. And here's where things get dangerous. Most men think these symptoms are just part of aging, so they do nothing. They wait. They hope it gets better. But every week you ignore weak circulation, your vessels stiffen a little more. Your nerves lose a little more sensitivity. Your body forgets what it feels like to work properly. I see this in my practice constantly. Men will come in after ignoring symptoms for 5, 10, sometimes 15 years. By then, they've normalized feeling exhausted. They've accepted that intimacy is complicated. They've convinced themselves that this is just what 60 feels like. But when I test their circulation and see how compromised it is, I realize they've been living at 30% capacity for years without knowing it. But circulation is only half the crisis. Your testosterone production depends on 2 things: blood flow and specific minerals. When circulation drops, even if your body tries to make testosterone, it can't deliver it to your muscles, your brain, or your reproductive system. You're making the fuel, but the delivery truck is broken. Think about that for a moment. Your body is still trying. It's still producing hormones. But those hormones are trapped, unable to reach the cells that need them. It's like having a full tank of gas but a clogged fuel line. The engine sputters no matter how much fuel you have. The consequences pile up faster than you realize. Confidence fades in social situations. Recovery from exercise takes twice as long. Desire feels like a distant memory. You start avoiding intimacy rather than risking failure. And here's the cruelest part. Most men blame themselves. They think, I'm just old. But I've seen 75-year-olds with better blood flow than 55-year-olds. It's not age. It's what you're doing, or not doing, every single day. Let me show you exactly what I mean through one patient's story, because his transformation explains everything. And more importantly, it'll show you exactly what's possible when you get this right. Michael was 63 when he first came to see me. Former athlete, still active, eating relatively well. But he told me, Doc, I feel like I'm fading. Not dying, just disappearing. His wife had stopped initiating affection. He'd stopped feeling confident at work. He avoided social events because he felt off. He couldn't explain it better than that. Just off. When I tested his blood work, his testosterone was low normal. Not terrible. But his circulation markers told the real story. His blood was moving slowly, thick with inflammation. His cells were starving for oxygen. I told him, your hormones are trying. Your body just can't use them. That's when I taught him the clove water ritual. Not as a supplement. As a signal. A way to tell his blood vessels to relax and his repair systems to activate. Cloves contain a compound called eugenol, the same molecule your body uses to expand blood vessels naturally. But only if you prepare it correctly. Only if you time it right. Michael was skeptical. He'd tried supplements before. He'd changed his diet. He'd even tried hormone therapy briefly, but stopped because of side effects. But I told him, this isn't about adding something your body doesn't recognize. This is about giving your body the exact compound it's been asking for, at the exact time it can actually use it. Week 1, Michael noticed his feet stayed warm at night, something that hadn't happened in years. Week 2, he woke up with morning energy instead of grogginess. Week 3, his wife asked if he'd started new medication. By week 4, he told me, I feel like myself again. Not younger, just present. That word stuck with me. Present. Because that's what good circulation gives you. The ability to be fully present in your own body. So what was actually happening inside Michael's body? Let me break down the science in the simplest way possible, because once you understand this, you'll never look at circulation the same way again. Inside every clove is eugenol, a natural vasodilator. That means it relaxes the smooth muscle in your artery walls, allowing blood to flow freely again. Think of it like turning a dimmer switch from 30% to 80%. Suddenly, oxygen floods your organs, your brain, your reproductive system. Your cells go from gasping to breathing deeply. That's when energy returns. Your body has millions of tiny blood vessels, capillaries so small they can barely fit a single red blood cell through at a time. These vessels feed every organ, every nerve, every tissue in your body. When they're stiff or constricted, blood flow slows to a crawl. Oxygen delivery drops. Waste products build up. Your cells start operating in survival mode instead of thriving mode. Eugenol changes that. It sends a signal to those vessel walls to relax, to soften, to open up. Within minutes of drinking properly prepared clove water, those pathways start widening. Blood moves faster. Oxygen reaches places it hasn't reached in years. And your body starts remembering what normal feels like. But cloves do something else most men don't know about. They're packed with manganese, a mineral your body needs to produce testosterone. Not replace it. Produce it naturally. When you combine improved blood flow with the right mineral support, your hormonal system wakes up like it's been waiting for permission. Manganese activates the enzymes responsible for testosterone synthesis in your testes. Without enough manganese, those enzymes work sluggishly, producing weak amounts of hormone, even when everything else is functioning correctly. It's like trying to start a fire with damp wood. You can have all the right conditions, but without that spark, nothing ignites. And here's why timing matters so much. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body enters deep repair mode. That's when testosterone rebuilds, inflammation clears, and blood vessels restore themselves. If you drink clove water 90 minutes before bed, The eugenol is active exactly when your body needs it most. Morning clove tea? You're wasting it during your active phase when your body is focused on performance, not repair. This is the difference between feeling a mild boost and experiencing real transformation. Timing is everything. Your body operates on rhythms, cycles that have evolved over millions of years. When you work with those rhythms instead of against them, everything becomes easier. Now let me show you the exact method that makes this work, step by step, nothing left out. This takes 3 minutes to prepare and 10 minutes to brew. You'll need 5 whole cloves and 1 cup of filtered water. That's it. No powders, no oils, no complicated recipes. The simplicity is what makes it sustainable. You're not going to do this if it requires 20 ingredients and an hour of prep time. Bring 1 cup of water to a gentle boil. Add exactly 5 whole cloves, not crushed, not ground. Whole cloves release eugenol slowly, which is what you want. If you crush them, you get a burst of flavor but lose the sustained release that keeps your blood vessels relaxed through the night. You want a slow, steady infusion, not a quick spike. Cover the pot with a lid. This is critical. Eugenol evaporates with steam, so if you leave it uncovered, you lose 40% of the benefit. I've had men tell me they boiled cloves for 20 minutes with no lid and felt nothing. Of course they didn't. They were essentially steaming away the active compounds and drinking weakened water. Simmer on low heat for exactly 10 minutes. Set a timer. Don't guess. This isn't a loose guideline. 10 minutes is the minimum time needed to extract therapeutic levels of eugenol without over-concentrating the solution. Less than 10 minutes, you're underdosed. More than 15, you start extracting bitter compounds that irritate digestion. Turn off the heat, but keep the lid on. Let it steep for 2 hours. This is when the antioxidants and minerals fully infuse into the water. You'll see it turn a light amber color. That color tells you the compounds are active. If your water stays clear, something went wrong. Either your cloves are too old, your heat was too low, or you didn't steep long enough. Strain it into a cup. Drink it warm or at room temperature, 90 minutes before bed. Sip it slowly. Don't gulp. Let your body recognize what you're giving it. This isn't about speed. It's about absorption. When you sip slowly, the compounds enter your bloodstream gradually, signaling your nervous system to begin its nightly wind down. Now here are the 3 mistakes that destroy this method, and I see men make these constantly. These mistakes are the reason most men try cloves once, see no results, and give up entirely. Mistake 1. Using clove powder or oil. Too concentrated. It irritates your stomach and stresses your liver. Whole cloves only. The slow release is what makes this safe and effective. Clove oil is 40 times more concentrated than whole cloves. It's like drinking vodka when you need wine. The intensity overwhelms your system instead of supporting it. Mistake 2. Drinking it right before bed. You'll stimulate your nervous system and ruin your sleep. 90 minutes before gives your body time to absorb and relax. You want to be drifting off naturally, not wired. I had one patient who drank his clove water at 10:30 p.m. and lay awake until 1 a.m. wondering why it wasn't working. He was dosing himself right when his body needed to shut down. Mistake 3. Skipping days. Your blood vessels need consistent signals to stay flexible. 1 cup a night, every night for 4 weeks minimum. This isn't a quick fix. It's a reset. You're retraining your vascular system to stay open, to stay responsive. That takes repetition. Your body learns through consistency, not intensity. When you do this correctly, something remarkable happens. Let me show you what other men experienced, because their stories prove this isn't just one lucky case. This is a pattern. A reproducible result that happens when you follow the method exactly. Richard, 69, told me his morning energy returned after 10 days. He stopped needing afternoon naps. David, 72, said his hands and feet stayed warm all day, something that hadn't happened in a decade. And Thomas, 61, reported that his confidence in intimate moments returned naturally, without pressure or anxiety. But here's what I find most powerful. These men didn't just feel physically stronger. They felt like themselves again. They stopped avoiding their partners. They stopped making excuses at social events. They stopped believing their best years were behind them. Because when your body works the way it's supposed to, your mind follows. Your confidence doesn't come from motivation or willpower. It comes from your body feeling capable. When your circulation is strong, when your hormones are balanced, when your nerves are responsive, confidence is automatic. You don't have to fake it. You feel it. It radiates from you naturally, because your body is operating the way it was designed to operate. I've watched this transformation happen dozens of times. A man walks into my office slouched, hesitant, speaking quietly. For weeks later he walks in taller, makes eye contact, speaks with conviction. That's not a personality change. That's what happens when oxygen reaches your brain, when your hormones stabilize, when your nervous system functions correctly. Now, I need to be clear. If you're on blood thinners or diabetes medication, talk to your doctor first. Cloves naturally thin blood and lower blood sugar, which is great for most men, but dangerous if you're already medicated. And if you have a sensitive stomach, start with 3 cloves instead of 5 for the first week. Listen to your body. This is about supporting it, not overwhelming it. If you want to go deeper into restoring your full vitality, sexual confidence, and long-term health, I've put together a complete resource called the Complete Sexual Health Blueprint for Men Over 50. It covers everything from circulation optimization to hormone balance, nerve health, and the exact lifestyle strategies that keep you strong for decades. There's a link in the description. Grab your copy before it's too late, because the men who take action early are the ones who stay ahead. So here's what I want you to do next. Tonight, before bed, try this method exactly as I've shown you. 5 whole cloves, 10-minute simmer, 2-hour steep, drink 90 minutes before sleep. Then come back in 2 weeks and tell me in the comments what changed. I read every single one. And if this worked for you, share it with one man who needs to hear this. Because most men are suffering silently, thinking this is just how life is now. Make sure you're subscribed because next week I'm revealing the 3 foods that are secretly destroying your testosterone. Even if you think you're eating healthy, one of them is in 90% of heart-healthy diets, and it's quietly killing your hormone production. You need to know what it is before you eat it again. And in 2 weeks, I'll show you the morning routine that doubles the effectiveness of what we just talked about. It takes 4 minutes and works with your body's natural cortisol curve. But only if you're doing this nightly clove ritual first, because without blood flow, nothing else works. Your best years aren't behind you. They're waiting for the right signal. Start tonight. Because here's the truth most men never hear. The body doesn't give up on you. You give up on it. When you stop sending the right signals, when you stop giving it the tools it needs to repair, it slowly forgets what vitality feels like. But the moment you start again, the moment you give your body what it's been asking for, circulation, minerals, the right timing, it remembers. It responds. It comes back to life. I've seen this happen hundreds of times. Men who walked into my office defeated, convinced their fire was gone, only to discover that fire was never extinguished. It was just waiting. Waiting for oxygen. Waiting for blood flow. Waiting for someone to show them the way back. And that's what this is. A way back. Not to being 20 again. Not to some unrealistic fantasy. But to feeling present in your own body. To feeling strong when you stand. To feeling confident when you speak. To feeling alive when you wake up. You don't need to settle for less. You don't need to accept the slow fade. You just need to understand how your body works and give it what it needs. 1 cup of clove water, prepared correctly, timed perfectly, repeated consistently. That's the signal your body has been waiting for. Men who take action stay strong. Men who wait lose ground every single day. The choice is yours. But if you're still watching this, I know which kind of man you are. You're the kind who doesn't give up. The kind who fights for his vitality, his confidence, his presence. The kind who knows his best days aren't behind him. So prove it. Tonight. Start the ritual. Send the signal. Let your body remember what it's capable of. And I'll see you next week when we talk about the foods that are sabotaging everything you're trying to build. Because even if you do this clove ritual perfectly, if you're eating the wrong things, you're fighting an uphill battle. And I'm not going to let that happen. Your strength matters. Your confidence matters. Your presence in this world matters. Don't let weak circulation steal that from you. Start tonight.